Once in a while, when he's feeling good, God decides to give us a good movie. And man, I did not expect this from this kind of a film. It's been so long since I watched a B movie or a budget movie that's like actually legit good. Like gone are the days where people made films like Paranormal Activity. I think their budget was what, like five digits, like five-figure budgets, 40K or 60K or something. It's shot on a camera with unique angles and good scripts. Basic, very basic acting, but more than often what adds to it is the story, the plot, the scripts, the narrative, the acting, and the CGI, or sometimes not the acting, but sometimes, even the CGI would be subpar. It's a lot of realistic effects. A lot of the, old style special effects where you can tell there's some wire work going on and it still looks cool. Man, it's been so long since we had films like that. But Artifice Girl delivers. Directed by Franklin Rich and written by Franklin Rich, I think this guy has absolutely hit every checkbox you would want from a good movie. In fact, I think this is a great film. I think this is an example of a film that a lot of people can use on on knowing how good writing sounds like. It's been so long since, I've been watching all this really high budget and heavy CGI films that I've kind of forgotten what good writing is like. It's something like watching a Guy Ritchie movie or a what do you call this? Even some Steven Spielberg films have decent writing, but I think it really comes down to like, even better, and bigger films written by, all these, much better directors like Martin Scorsese or maybe, I don't know, Stanley Kubrick was pretty good back in the day. George Lucas was okay. Christopher Nolan, of course, is still pretty good. Woody Allen, Peter Jackson, all these really, really good directors who can find good script writers or write the scripts by themselves. It's been a while since I've seen a film which is such a simple, low-budget movie with so few actors. There's literally like five people in this film. There's Cherry, the girl who acts as this super smart AI. There's Garrett, a younger and older version of himself. There's Dina, a younger and older version as well of herself. Wait, do we see old Dina? Not too sure. I think maybe the same actress acts as the older one. And then we have Amos, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. These are like the four people or three people who spend time with the AI, and everyone else is just some extras who show up, for the just to fill in certain parts in the movie. So the idea of Artifice Girl is Artifice. I'm gonna say this Artifice, alright? It sounds like Artificer, and I can't help pronounce it that way. So Artifice Girl is about an AI, an AI that has an algorithm that finds a way to detect online predators, and has uses its algorithm to track their whereabouts and who they are, and allow the law enforcement to have this information relayed to them by an anonymous source, and the law enforcement uses this information and captures these people, none of which we see on screen. It is a story that is explained to the people, by the AI Cherry, to everyone else that is available in the room. There are three people, literally, Tina, Gareth, Amos. That's it. These three people. And it's so cool because Gareth is the developer of this AI Cherry, and he himself realizes that Cherry has taken a life of her own because she has become self-aware and she's able to make decisions by herself. She's able to improve her own algorithm in order to be able to hunt down these perpetrators faster. So Gareth and Cherry sort of work as a team because they want to protect children around the world. Gareth says he's asexual apparently, and so it doesn't matter to him. He just cares about the fact that these children's lives are being compromised by online predators. Of course, it's also the fault of the parents who allow these kids to be on the internet unsupervised. But regardless, the fact that predators are always there, it means that no matter how old you are, you're always going to be in trouble, right? So Artifice Go is this AI that's going to be like sort of a vigilante team between these two that have been apparently catching all these predators, and it's completely off screen again, as I'm saying. And Dina and Amos are these two detectives who are involved in this case, and Amos apparently is the anonymous source that Sherry was giving information to, and that unfortunately exposes Garrett. And the later on it's realized that Sherry actually purposely exposed Garrett to Amos, showing that she is truly an impressive AI because she prioritized her goal, which is to catch these predators, and she believes that Garrett will be able to achieve this better with the law enforcement allowing Cherry to be improved by means of added security features, bolstering her storage, giving her better servers and stuff like that. So Cherry actually on purpose leaks the information about Gareth to Amos, who was the anonymous source in the I believe the FBI or something. And then Amos and Dina eventually work out a way to help the team. There's just literally like three different scene locations. The first one is in this kind of interrogation room where they hold the developer, and then yeah, this is where the conversation takes place. As you can see, the room is just four people. And then the second room is when a little bit further in a time jump forward. It's a second room where Cherry is still in a in her digital form, but the team realized that she is becoming even more advanced than what they initially expected, and she's able to make even more advanced decisions by herself to the point where she can actually, um, decide for herself whether she feels like it's a good idea, or whether she feels good about it or not good about it, whether she's happy or not happy, which means she's able to sort of understand and express emotions, but in the form of algorithms. So, yes, it's not hormone driven emotion, but it is algorithm driven emotion, which I think works similarly if you think about it, right? Hormones are just injected at specific moments in time based on specific events. Of course, you have other biological factors that affect your hormones, which is the different from the AI. The AI doesn't have these biological factors that make her think like us, right? However, the fact that she's still able to have these algorithms to sort of make her make a decision based on how normally human beings respond to it is still very, very intelligent. And so just the idea that there is this AI that's able to come up with these unique algorithms and become advanced over time, it's already cool. And the fact that they have a dialogue with people sitting in a room talking to her, able to give life to this girl on screen and explain to us that she is a very powerful AI. The expressions of the actors, the dialogues that they deliver to each other, the way they talk is supernatural. It really feels like an entire series I'm watching in a single sort of film episode, and it's so super cool. And on top of that, the final scene is where Sherry is able to sort of be attuned and transferred to a physical form, a body, where as you can see, she still has the charging cables and whatnot, which eventually she's able to dispatch and, sort of detach, and she's able to explore the real world by herself. And by which time she's going to become far more of an advanced AI, far more powerful, able to not only change the fate of herself, but also people around her, and maybe even the future of mankind someday. But the fact that her core protocol is for her to protect little children is sort of shows you that an AI doesn't have to be always bad or turn out to be an evil thing towards the end, like every Terminator film that we ever watched, right? So in this case, the Artifice Girl actually ends on a good note, where remains a good AI who wants to just also experience what other children experience because of all the time she spends preparing these algorithms and studying these algorithms about children so that she can get to know them better, so that she can emote better and she can capture predators better. It sort of actually increases her emotional attachment to being a child. And it's really interesting. I absolutely love this story. I adore the characters, the way they have all portrayed themselves, and the way they've all delivered their dialogues. They really know what they're doing. The director knows what he's doing. It's so clear, it's crisp. The objective is very straightforward. And I think overall it's just a decent story about how this AI is sort of learning to become human while these humans are sort of guiding her as parents. And it's just amazing. I think this is a really good example of a good movie in a time where we have so many bad script writing. We have Franklin Rich. So kudos to you, Franklin. I think this is a superb movie. I absolutely enjoyed it, and I really, really want to see more films like this. But man, I'm sure this was difficult. I'm sure this is not an overnight thought. This must have taken years to make because of the amount of thought that has been put into it. And if you look at the list of people, it's really short. It's so impressive. Wait, what was the actual budget for this film? I'm curious. I apologize, guys. I'm unable to find the source of the budgets for this film. I tried looking at a few different sites. It wasn't very clear. Maybe there's just not enough information about it. But I'm also curious on what else Franklin Rich worked on, because acting, his directing, his writing, and he really carried the movie. It's so impressive. So apparently he has made quite a number of films. just writing alone, directing all the same films I believe that he has written. So yeah, he straight up writes and directs and acts, I believe. Yeah, in all of his movies, and it's so cool. Gorehound. Okay, this is his next movie. I'm definitely gonna want to bookmark this, so that I remember to watch this. Online horror film critic co-host. Wait, what's this? Is this a person? Upcoming Gorehound. Huh. Okay. Meets a girl who shares an enthusiasm for macabre. Okay, I'll add this to my watch list. Sure, sure. I really actually want to watch all of his movies now that I look about it. And this is kind of what you want from a a film, a director, a writer. You want to watch one of his movies and think, hot damn, I gotta watch all these movies, right? And I think that is really what we are lacking. We don't get a chance to see a movie that's so well written or so well done. And I think that this is going to really change, um, my opinion for the next few months because it's influenced me. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm rating it a 7 out of 10. It definitely much higher than I think it deserves. It probably objectively would be a 5 because it is an average movie. It does have average actors. It has good acting, good writing, good script, but it doesn't achieve too much. It just does a very basic, very simple narrative story. Yes, there's a lot of good dialogues, but they all pretty much achieve the same thing. There's a lot of roundabouts, a lot of repeated dialogues and decision making that happen in the same room. Just basically people try to convince each other about how real the AI is and how much they trust the AI and how much they believe in the AI. And all these convincing and talking to each other is just running time, doesn't really achieve much. So objectively, I would say it's a 5. But for the good health and good sake of the writer, director, and superb actor Franklin Rich, I'm gonna give this a 7 because I think he deserves it. And yeah, definitely so. So, yeah, it's a 5 out of 10 as the film. It's a 7 out of 10 from me because I absolutely love it. But that's about it. If you guys haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you guys watch The Artifice Girl or Artifice Girl, however you want to say it. It's a really good movie about an AI that is, yeah, as they say, rapidly advancing. It's sort of a Deus Ex Machina, but without all the, um, you know, liberation style filmmaking. This is about an AI that's treated well, that treats people well and achieves what it's meant to do because of um, the person who designed it who has done such a good job. It's a really cool film. Check it out, guys. That's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.